Hi, this is me, Linda, and I'm here to tell you all about the Fool's Journey. So, I have been on it, so I can tell you real life experiences as well. But let's start at the very beginning. What is the Fool's Journey? And why is it mixed up with tarot cards? So, you may know that there are tarot cards, right? And actually, the first card of the tarot is the Fool. So, if you haven't seen the Fool, you probably haven't seen tarot. Either way, every tarot card deck will have the Fool because that's kind of the basis of it all. And sometimes it might not be called the Fool. You might get a deck where it's called the Star Seed, for example, or maybe the Beginning or some other word, but there will be the card that is either in the zero, like having no number, or the first card, depending on your deck. But in the normal, logical, a bit older tarot system, the Fool in all sorts of ways will be the zero because he's the one who's going on the journey through the tarot cards. I'm showing two different tarot card deck Fools. And so, if the Fool is there, he's starting to go on that journey. He's going to encounter some lessons because when we're born in this reality and the physical life on this earth, in our bodies, we start to get some physical lessons in some ways. So the first lesson is going through the magician, the creator of our own reality, meaning we are, starting to understand some things, our own personality, and so much more. After that lesson, the magician, in that case, we go to the second one, which is the high priestess. That is, in one way, to be signified of subconscious. So we're starting to get a bit further in our knowledge of ourselves and ability to create our own reality. And then we go to the third lesson, which is the Empress. That's already birthing something real, like creating, truly putting out there its prosperity in many ways. And after the third lesson, we go into the fourth, like the Emperor, that is all about structure and getting things done and, the masculine energy being there. And that's how the Fool goes on and on through all 78 tarot cards. So some of you may know that there are 22 major arcana cards. So very often, like arcana means secrets. So going through these major secrets, the Fool is learning the biggest lessons of life. But once those are over, you can also go into the minor secrets, minor arcana. And there, the Fool is learning the everyday lessons of the life. So some will go on this Fool's journey only through the major secrets, and some will go even into the smaller secrets. I personally really like an intensive way of learning and growing, so I go into the major ones mostly. But it doesn't mean that the smaller ones are not playing out. They are. So that's why I like that path. And what do I say when I say that I have been on this journey? This book was my first beautiful tarot learning book. I started to learn tarot in 2016. And then I was introduced to the Fool's Journey. My beautiful teacher, my first teacher, Agnes, she did tarot card teaching a bit deeper, in my opinion. And that's one of the ways how you can learn tarot through the Fool's Journey. What does it mean? I'm going to, take you along. So going on the Fool's Journey doesn't mean to only remember the meanings of the tarot cards. It means to live with them, to try to understand these lessons through ourselves, try to get through the same experience that the Fool is going on, actually becoming the Fool, being the Fool, seeing through the Fool's eyes. Either we will experience those sort of lessons in ourselves or outside of ourselves, like the Emperor's lessons or the Empress's lessons that the Fool is experiencing. And it can be very interesting path. And that's why I really like when I'm guiding you or someone else on a Fool's journey to do it in a group way, because then you get to experience how different the lessons of the Fool can go. Because we are each a bit unique, right? And everyone has a different point where we're starting and all the beautiful differences that we get, but all of them actually unite us in some way. So I love to do it in a sharing mode. But yeah, looking at my Fool's journey. So when you start it, and when I started it, the way I like to do it, and I was also experiencing it, it was through an initiation. So I was initiated to go into the Fool's journey, to fully understand the lessons, to experience them in my own real life, my own reality. And to do so, at the beginning, I also set an intention, like here. It's written here. Oh my God. As it is in my native language of Latvian, I'll read it to you in English. It's written that I wanted to, in that moment, attract a man with whom I would be in a very soulful, fulfilling, love filled relationship. So that was my intention when I started tarot course. Of course, I was intending that. That was very me back then, very me 2016. And going through this journey, which in my case, I went very deeply through 22 cards 3 times. Then I only completed it because I wanted to embody it in all the levels possible, meaning our body, our mind, and even the soul level. And so within that journey, I actually met my partner, and we do have this beautiful relationship. But whilst I was on this journey, this is basically how much I journaled throughout the journey, with going through these cards again and again, well, 3 times each, and understanding how to get a bit closer to my initiation idea. The intention that I was setting was working, although I was not thinking about it all the time. So that's the beauty of going into the tarot journey, the Fool's path, the Fool's journey, is that you get to also intend something and then see it coming to fruition, meaning manifestation. That's another way to call it, right? So yeah, I manifest in many ways, and this is one of the ways that I have done it. So in many ways, this beautiful tarot journey gave me lots of knowledge how things can be created in my own reality by me, and how it is normal to go through all sorts of lessons on the way. Because oftentimes our brain just wants things immediately, or this or that. But once you understand that there are some, bigger things out there, like maybe universal laws, and you are going through them to acquire what you want. You're like the fool going on this beautiful trip. So you get to learn things on the way, like in every fairy tale or story that we know of, right? Okay, now I have told you how the Fool's journey works, what it is, kind of. Maybe it's a bit hard for you to get it. In case it is, let me know in the comments below. If not, I'm glad that I have managed to explain it to you in a somewhat understandable way. But the trickiest part is, you can learn tarot cards also without the Fool's journey. And in my opinion, you can learn tarot in many ways. The easiest and most known way is to simply learn each card's meaning. So basically in the mind level. So literally using your mind, your ability to remember things, training it. People who go through that learning process might learn for many years, because it takes a lot of years to become comfortable in only the mind's perspective of understanding a tarot card. But what I like to do, and what I have done, thanks to the Fool's journey, was going a bit deeper. So another way, in my opinion, is to learn also through the heart. Like that can be a creative way to see more of what's there, looking at it and trying to sense the emotions, being a bit more artistic, like feeling into the cards, trying to get the story. And you can see that, okay, I have all of these fools, but they look slightly different. So each of them might have a bit of a different story. And that's kind of the feeling way, to see and sense these differences. So that's another way. But what I did, in my opinion, in the Fool's journey, and the way I teach tarot, and the way I also learned tarot myself, was to go even deeper than that. And that was using the intuition, so the feelings, using the mind, and also experiencing tarot cards and their lessons. So when you go on the Fool's journey, you get that third level added. Without it, okay, you get the mind, you get the intuition and feelings. That's still okay. But if you truly want to take it to the next level and you have some sort of thing that you want to achieve, it can be done together with this process of learning tarot. So that's kind of how you can tie it up in a nice knot. Like me today. I felt very foolish, clearly. And yeah, if you go on the fool's journey, I definitely have learned things along the way because I have done it multiple times and I see how it works. I see the ups and downs that it creates, as life does. And I really like to guide people on this journey because I feel once you have somebody that knows the path, can actually take you to places a bit easier and faster, or simply you don't feel alone when you're going on them. Because, oh my God, the path of awakening can feel very, very lonesome, especially at the beginning. At least it really did for me, because it happened for me more than 10 years ago when that was not a thing in this world. It was not popular to talk about it. I didn't know anyone who was like officially going through it. So yeah, it took me some while to fully be myself and be this open and all of this. So I'm happy that I get to share my experiences and take along other people on their awakening or the fool's journey. And yeah, in case you feel like you still need to understand this whole thing a bit better, I get it. It's a journey to even understand it, because it's not a thing about mind. It's deeper. It goes deeper. It's very mystical, and it can open up so much magic and bliss in our lives once we go into a journey like that, especially with other souls that really want to express themselves and become as authentic as they want to be, because well, that's the sort of people that I attract. So yeah, that's in a nutshell what I would explain the fool's journey is about. And in case you want to understand it deeper, let me know. And in case you have other tarot cards that you want to understand, because I was not really explaining the fool much here, maybe I should do videos about that too. What do you say? Yeah, let me know. Okay, until the next time, this is me, Linda. This is Tarot Mysteries, and all of this channel is for your most blissful growth.